Good morning. Today's text is taken from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verses 7 through 10. For the Lord your God is bringing you into a good land, a land of flowing streams with springs and underground waters welling up in the valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley, of vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive oil and honey, a land where you may eat bread without scarcity and you will lack nothing, a land whose stones are iron and from whose hills you may mine copper. And you shall eat your fill and bless the Lord your God for the good land that the Lord has given you. Now, I'm sure that you have all noticed how some foods seem to dominate our lives through the holiday season. From late October clear through to New Year's Day, our news feed is filled with recipes from main dishes to delicious snacks. Posts, pictures, recipes, and reviews all encourage us to eat our fill and more. Today's text is filled with food as well, 7 foods to be exact, that are to be revered and used to remember God's special gifts to God's people, signs of God's providential love made visible in a new land so different from the land that they have wandered in for so many years. Now, I always chuckle when I get to this list and I read pomegranates, because pomegranates, really, God? Pomegranates? Of all the many and varied fruits, vegetables, or grains that might have been listed, we find pomegranates, an item not normally found on most weekly shopping lists. But actually, pomegranates have been symbolic of God's love made visible throughout history. As a reminder of God's providence, they were woven into priestly robes. It's said that they decorated the top of the pillars on Solomon's temple. And in medieval religious artwork, the whole fruit with a top shaped like a crown and then cut open with the seeds bursting out are seen as Christ's love poured out for our salvation. What a wonderful image and metaphor for God's love made visible. A pomegranate filled with seeds, each wrapped in a little pocket of wonderful, nutritious, and delicious juice. Seeds that promise new life, and juice that quenches our thirst and strengthens us, visible reminders of God's love. And there is, however, one more part to this text. It's don't forget. When you get all settled down in this new land, when you get all comfortable, don't forget. Remember using these foods, wheat, barley, figs, vines, olives, honey, and pomegranates. Remember God's love. All of these are to be reminders of how we are to give thanks to God. You know, it's easy to get wrapped up in the busyness of the holidays or Advent preparations and to forget that we are to remember the blessings and gifts of God in the birth of a baby and the love poured out so freely. So maybe add a pomegranate to your shopping list this Advent and savor the visible signs of invisible grace poured out for all. Amen.